Hi, I am Kim Clark, and I have with me,
Ron Hart,
and we are the co-authors of the Amazon #1 hot new release.
Dynamic ChatGPT, AI strategies for small business.
And what we're going to do to not make this book, oh, I don't know, 9,000 pages. And because ChatGPT is it's changing so fast, the landscape is just turning so quickly, is we're going to create training sessions on each chapter to dive really deep into the information there. But in essence, just to give you a taste or a sampling of these training sessions, we have a free introductory training course, which is what you've tuned into today. So welcome. I'm going to start this recording now and start sharing. So we are Dynamic ChatGPT AI Strategies for Small Business. This is the free introductory course, and welcome. And again, we wrote this book as a primer to open the doorway to the possibilities of using AI within business.
So again, my name is Ron Hart, and I've owned multiple businesses over the last 36 years in the fields of telecom, IT, energy, and financial services. When artificial intelligence started being featured in the news on a regular basis back in the fourth quarter of 2022, I became intrigued by the possible implications that it would have for small business. And I asked several people who professed to being on the cutting edge of how it would impact business. And I quickly realized most of these so-called experts were clueless about the technology or what impact it would have. So shortly thereafter, I made the decision to go through an online AI course with the University of Pennsylvania Wharton School of Business to get factual information to see where the technology was going. And then after that, I took a course on AI integration with Google Labs relating to how AI could be used in a number of areas of business. And then finally, I studied advanced mathematics for machine learning at the London School of Economics to go deeper into how AI would actually affect the future of business.
And I'm actually a geek at heart. I was a computer science major before I switched to communications for my undergrad. And I program in machine language, love computer programming. I was an IT executive for a number of years, designed many websites, and I have a master's of science in business in marketing from Johns Hopkins, which I was also a former marketing professor. And I am a multiple award-winning publisher of 5 Amazon best-selling books for myself. I'm the author of, excuse me, but we publish about 12 books a year. We're very selective in who we take on as clients for authors, but we are a publisher and our books are in English. Some of our books are in English and Spanish. So it's pretty exciting. And we're excited to be on the cutting edge of this amazing technology of it's called generative AI. So this incredible resource we have here, if you haven't gotten a copy, go to Amazon or you can go to our website. That's dynamicchatgpt.com. That will really help you with this course and with all the courses. You can get a rare author inscribed copies, or you can go on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, wherever fine books are sold. But this book provides a complete overview on artificial intelligence, which we refer to as AI. This shows you how to utilize AI for non-income producing activities. And when you're in business, especially small business, there's a lot of non-income producing activities throughout your day, and you can get bogged down by that. And that's where AI can really come in handy. And that's what this book addresses. It also addresses using AI for automating administrative tasks. So many of those could be scheduling. All those can be done by a chatbot, which is amazing. There's also ChatGPT to run e-commerce, which is incredible. It's just really powerful. And you could use AI for website integration. But what my favorite part are these two things are the 12 business case studies. These are phenomenal. They're real world examples of how using ChatGPT can benefit your business, as well as 150 essential business prompts. These are incredible. We have tested each one of these, and we were so blown away by all the capacity of of ChatGPT and how incredible it is for small business.
So the thing I love about using AI, specifically ChatGPT, is the ability for it to give you your business a global feel while you're operating in a local area. ChatGPT can analyze your website statistics, offering insights and summarizing key points. It can provide advice on tools and techniques for gathering relevant statistics in a more efficient manner. ChatGPT can assist in optimizing user experience to retain visitors and encourage purchases. And it can also give advice on conversion rate optimization, that's CRO, and that's to increase sales per visit. So are you wondering why people aren't buying after visiting your site? ChatGPT can identify those issues, provide analysis on the user experience, and even suggest strategies to improve marketing, increase trust, and design SEO as well as content. In other words, ChatGPT removes all the guesswork as to why customers aren't being converted into sales. And remember, potential buyers will never come back to your website if they can't find what they're looking for easily and get their questions answered right then and there. And one simple solution that can handle all of these challenges is an AI chatbot.
That's so cool. It's amazing the technology now.
So I love brainstorming with talented people, and some of my best business ideas did not come out of my brain. They came from very smart people I brainstormed with. And with ChatGPT, you can brainstorm with the content created by millions of people online. I like to call this web storming. Think about it. You need a SWOT analysis for your business, done in seconds. How about ideas on increasing revenues in a difficult business market? At your fingertips in moments. There's virtually no question you can't find the answer to with ChatGPT.
And that I want to touch on those 2 points you have there. Creating a SWOT analysis. We do that for every new business we're about to enter, every new industry. And even when we were working for other companies, I would do that before I would go on an interview or any of my clients. And a SWOT analysis is an acronym. It stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And the strengths and weaknesses of a company are internal. Every company has internal strengths and internal weaknesses. Now, the opportunities and threats, that's external to the company. That's more in the industry. And it's also could be the global environment as well. And those are external to the company. And those are just important because they can affect the company, as we know from the pandemic. But a SWOT analysis is so unbelievably important. I actually did one on myself. I put in my bio into ChatGPT, and I loved what it came up with. It was so perfect. It was so helpful, and it came up to it within seconds. And I was like, yes, absolutely right. It's very insightful synopsis and analysis of your business. And I love the prompt there we have there is give me 20 ideas how to increase revenue on my business. That is huge. That ChatGPT can do those. And those are actually 2 of the prompts from our book that you can pull out and easily use. These are wonderful. Those prompts are probably I think everything's great, but that's one of my favorite parts in the book.
And there are literally thousands of these types of inquiries you can put into ChatGPT about your business or about your industry and receive instantaneous feedback.
One thing I love to use ChatGPT is marketing. I have written 5 Amazon bestselling, multiple award-winning books, and I still struggle with, I'm looking at the computer screen with marketing content. I'm like, oh no. So if you do that as well, you're in good company. ChatGPT can be used for your marketing and all your branding needs. You can use it to enhance your brand and your personal image as well as your business. It's also very effective for a congruent and communication across all channels. It's helpful for your brand identity. Now, brand is something people say about you when you're out of the room. And brand is so important. And that's one thing you want to protect is your brand. It all needs to boil down to your brand. And ChatGPT can help you solidify and distill your brand down, but it can also help you keep all that communication on one central point and one central level. Also very helpful for social media posts. Oh my goodness. We'll have to do that as well at the end. Do a prompt for that. Just generate 10 social media prompts on a campaign. It's so unbelievably helpful. Text messages, emails, and content creation. And the solution clearly is ChatGPT to do that.
One thing I want to mention here is it's so important from a level of professionalism to communicate well. How you communicate means so much. And let me give you an example. All of us have experienced someone who sent us a text message and they spoke into their phone and then sent it to us without looking as to what it says. And a lot of times it's complete gibberish. And I cannot say how many times I've gotten messages like that from professionals who either want to do business with me or were doing business with me. And let me tell you the impression it leaves me with. It leaves me with the impression that they are not careful. They are not patient, making sure that they're giving accurate information. That tells a lot about how they do business. And for me, if somebody's not always trying to communicate effectively and professionally, I really don't want to do business with them. And I've seen this across social media, text messages, emails. ChatGPT can eliminate all of those issues that you're having. Maybe you're not good at English. Maybe, your ability to communicate is not that good. You don't have to suffer from what your lack of training is, or lack of education. ChatGPT can do all of that for you, and there's no excuse not to use that to enhance your brand, enhance your image, and enhance you as a professional.
Absolutely. And just a caveat, anything you do enter in Chat GPT, you do still need to review. You do still need to proofread like
Right.
you should before you hit send on any email or any text. There's a lot of very helpful tips that you can use through Chat GPT. Now, using ChatGPT on a desktop or mobile app is very simple. We have it on both. We have it on our desktop as well as on our mobile devices. It's an incredible resource. And I, as a cook, like to refer to it as an excellent soup starter. If your broth is not good, the whole soup is bad, needs to be thrown out. And that's what ChatGPT is. It's a great starter. We use it for a lot, but we always, as I said earlier, we always proofread it, we always edit it. And you can actually just kind of massage it more for your message. Oh, I didn't really want to say that. And you can respond to Chat GPT and say, oh, create another one more compelling
Mhm.
or more interesting or more funny or more serious or more formal. You can change its tone and it will create another response based on those qualifications that you inputted.
Right.
Everyone can use it. It's very simple. It's not gonna, your computer is not gonna jump off the table and attack you at night.
Right.
Your phone is not gonna take over your life and do crazy things. We already use generative AI with Siri and Alexa. We're already using it. This is just like the internet was in the 1990s. Everyone was surfing the net and everyone said, "Oh, if you buy anything online, you're going to lose everything." But yes, if you're not careful and you're not encrypting your data, absolutely. And that's what ChatGPT. You have to be careful with this. Don't enter any proprietary data in that. This is an external software. Be careful. Don't enter anything that's private or personal. Don't do that. That's not wise. But again, use it with wisdom and prudence. Just really quick on version 3.5, we started on that version. It's free. We used it for a number of months and loved it. And then when we were researching for this book, at one time I needed Chat GPT. And if you get the free version, the 3.5 version, if there's a lot of load on it, a lot of users coming on, if you're free, it will shut you down. And I couldn't access Chat GPT and I needed it too. And I thought, that's it. I'm upgrading right then and there to the paid version.
Mm.
We now have 4.0 and we love it. It can generate images, all kinds of really cool, fun stuff. It's worth the $20 a month, which is the current price right now.
And it's also 4.0 is much more current than 3.5. 3.5 is about a year and a half old, maybe even older. 4.0 was updated in April of 2023. So you want the most current version with all the bells and whistles. And it's just an extraordinary business tool.
Absolutely, I agree.
So after doing an extensive amount of research on AI in the last year, I feel confident making this statement. If your business relies on a human answering the phone or responding to web inquiries, you'll be out of business in the next 18 months. This technology is moving too fast, far faster than anything ever experienced in business before. AI will soon go from being trained by humans to being trained by AI itself. And you don't want to be on the back end of this wave. So we created this book again as a simple primer to demystify AI and ChatGPT. It's not the end all on artificial intelligence. It's meant to open the door to the possibilities of what AI and ChatGPT can do for your business.
And that's so true. Can you imagine the size of this if it was all encompassing? It would be, it would be so huge. And thankfully, it's the Amazon hot new release. It's #1. So grab your copy now. You can get an author inscribed copy on our website. You can scan that QR code, take a screenshot of this screen, or go to Dynamic ChatGPT to grab your copies. It's also again available on Barnes and Noble, uh, Books a Million, and Amazon.com.
Yep.
So what our goal was with this book is to eliminate pain points, and especially in business. And a pain point is a persistent or reoccurring problem that frequently keeps small business owners up at night. And that's again, it could be a pain point for your personal life, it could be something for your health, but we're going to address all the pain points in this training to business, especially small business owners.
So business owners have a lot of pain points. I just picked 5 of them right here, but there are thousands of them. And those pain points can be not enough money, can be can't get new customers, can't keep existing customers. I've never met a business owner who didn't complain about not having enough money to expand, hire, more employees, etc., and they struggle to be seen in the crowded online marketplace to get more customers. And then they're even losing existing customers to companies who do it bigger and better for less. So as a result, revenues fall and profitability is down. And what was once a fact of business life for everyone having to deal with is now being solved through AI and ChatGPT.
You're absolutely right, Ron. I've never heard a business owner say, I have too much revenue and too much money. That's my biggest problem. I've never heard that, because you're starting out and you're implementing all new processes, and those processes take time to develop and also to pay for, to find the most efficient way. And unfortunately, you don't know that overnight. And that's why this can really help you, and ChatGPT can really help you with that.
So early in my career, I had the benefit of being in business with someone who was very wise in scaling a business. Our telecom business was bleeding us dry with excessive technology costs and consultant fees, and I was spending most of my time complaining about the problems and not focusing on the solution. So my partner shared a nugget of wisdom I've carried throughout other business ventures, and it's always served me well. And it is, there are very few problems in business that more sales can't fix. Back then, sales were up to us going out and beating the street. And today, we benefit from technology with AI and ChatGPT leading the way. So increasing sales, revenues, and profits are easier than ever.
Now, we've created this book, of course, to answer all your business pain points. It's extremely helpful. Enter these prompts in, read this book, give it to your employees, to your staff. This is a great gift to just move forward, especially at any time. Business meetings is really good. If you do retreats, this is a wonderful book to go through and discuss this. It's really helpful.
Mm.
So again, go scan that code right there, take a screenshot of that, or grab it at dynamicchatgpt.com, or you can go to Amazon and pick up your copy there. The next thing we're going to do, which I'm really excited about, is we're going to actually enter a prompt example. You can do this as well. You can open up chat.openai.com and take a screenshot of that, or let me give it to you again. It's chat.openai.com. And again, AI stands for artificial intelligence. And right now I'm going to do that right here with my screen. And so we are going to enter in just a chat. Chat is just a prompt or a request. And you can, and we do this several times a day. We actually entered this prompt in several times already today. And each time it came up with different responses, which we thought was pretty interesting.
Right.
So we entered in, provide 20 interview questions for a new employee in marketing in small business. Because every small business needs marketing. You need more sales. You need to better market and tell people about your product. But we also need to interview someone who has that experience. So we put in these questions, and let's see what happens. And this is how fast it generates. Oh, so actually there's experience unusual delay, and I'll need to try back again. So sometimes that happens, which is perfectly normal. So you can actually just copy that, start a new chat, and up here is your new chat with that little box right there. And, or click regenerate down here at the bottom. See if that works. And it looks like it is great. Here it is. It's coming up now. And what it's actually doing, excuse me, is grouping these questions into topics. We've done this several times, and each time it's come out different, which will show you the other responses, which we really like. So this one is very helpful in, can you describe experience in marketing and how it relates to our industry? Very helpful. And you want to ask open-ended questions. What we do when we're hiring people is to look at, number one, how do they respond when they're thrown a curveball, something they don't know? How are they processing the information? And what's their thinking process? I'm looking at how fast are their wheels turning and how quickly are they able to communicate and share that information, which is what you need in marketing.
Yeah, and I would say that one of the things that most small business owners don't do is adequately interview. They're usually in such a crunch time to hire somebody that a lot of times we're hiring whoever walks through the door and is able to fog a mirror and stand upright. And unfortunately, that's bringing on a lot of employees who down the road are going to create problems. So I love when I interview, I love giving the employee a chance to express themselves, because how they express themselves in an interview with me is how they're going to express themselves to my clients, to my customers. And that's really important. I need to know that up front. I don't want to find out later on. I mean, we've all gone through this. I went into business the other day where from the time I entered through that door did my transaction and left. The person who waited on me never said a word to me at all. Looked me in the eyes, never said hello, thank you for coming in, what can I help you with?
Wow.
Not a word left her lips. And someone hired her. And this is a franchise that is all over the country, that is one of the top franchises in the country. And they're hiring people like that. Those are the types of people you want to screen out, or at least make sure that you train before you put them in front to represent you.
Absolutely. So these are the 20 questions that ChatGPT came up with interviewing for a marketing position, which I love. How do you measure the success of a marketing campaign? We're not going to read each one of them, but it also gives an explanation of why they've even asked this question. In your opinion, how important is social media marketing for small business and why? And also, what I would even ask them, what platforms do you recommend for our industry? Because each one has a certain the best demographic and psychographic, and you want to make sure your business is matching that.
And there's a great question on here that I think is important for all business owners to ask, because it lets you see how well prepared this person is for this interview and how much they know about your company. And it's, what do you think sets our business apart from competitors, and how would you leverage this in your marketing?
Huge.
Now, again, we're talking about a marketing person being employed here, but if we just take the generic part of this and say, what do you think sets our business apart from the competition? Now you're finding out just how much work this person did on the front end of this interview, or whether or not they're just breezing in trying to get a job and they don't care what it is. I think it's important for you to ask the right questions up front and get the right answers, just like ChatGPT. You're asking the right questions, it's giving you the right answers. Now you're asking the right questions in an interview process. And I think what most small business owners, what I've heard from them, is they can't afford to pay for the human resources and all the things that they need. So they ask a few basic questions, and most of those are like, how much will you take per hour and when can you start? There's no background other than the resume, and that's it. And just this alone, I think, is an extraordinary tool to be able to use to make sure you're hiring the right people.
And that question you asked is the positioning statement, and that's really important for marketing, is how are you positioned in your market? Every company is unique and has a unique offering. So I wanted to quickly show you. So if this is something we like, we would click the up arrow button. This would say, hey, we like this response. And ChatGPT would then learn, and then it would generate more. We don't like it, like, oh, this isn't helpful at all. We click the down arrow button, or the thumbs down button. And to regenerate, it would actually regenerate. It was kind of fun to see that. In order to copy it, maybe you want to copy this into a Word document or into a text thread or into an email, and then regenerate, see what else it comes up with.
And when you do the up and down thumbs, you're training this program. So you are participating in the AI portion of this, of training this machine to learn what kind of responses you're looking for.
Absolutely. So I want to go back. We actually entered this in twice just to do a test to see. So the first time we entered that prompt in was provide 20 interview questions for a new employee in marketing for a small business. This was the first response we came up with, which I liked because it grouped them into categories. It had several questions, grouping them into categories. Creativity, innovation. How would you bring fresh and innovative ideas to our marketing strategy? Which I thought was a great question. How proficient are you with digital marketing tools and platforms like Google Analytics, social media advertising, and SEO, et cetera? And that's on skills and technique. All those are really important that you should be asking for who's ever doing your marketing. And we entered them again. Do you want to add anything about this one before I go next?
Sure. I mean, and every time you're entering it, ChatGPT, if you're not giving a thumbs up or a thumbs down, is not sure if you liked the previous responses. So then what it does is give you more responses. You're asking the same question over again with no change in the way that you've asked, but it's giving you new responses. And in fact, when it gives you a response, you can, if you choose to, if you're like, hey, I like one of these responses out of the 10 or 20 choices it gave me, I like this one, you can then copy that one, put it into the chat bar, and then ask it to expand on the ideas of that particular statement or paragraph. And it will give you, I mean, 1,000 words, 1,500 words, 2,000 words of an expanded profile on that one question or one statement.
So I'm going to just, actually, that's a great idea. I'm going to put that in there. 10 more questions on on this area. And I just copied the first one, which is background and experience.
Yep.
That's all I did. And let's see what it comes up with.
And it's amazing how fast this works. We're not talking about hours. We're not talking.
This is
when-
real time right now.
I'll tell you what, when I first used ChatGPT to test just how fast it was, I said to my wife, I said, I'm going to find out just how smart this is. In college, I minored in English, and I read a book called The Metamorphosis. Many people have read it, and it's by Franz Kafka. It's a very difficult book to read, and even more difficult book to do a critical analysis on. So it took me a few weeks in college to do a critical analysis of The Metamorphosis. And so when I got a hold of ChatGPT, I'm like, all right, let's see how smart this thing is. And I asked it to produce a critical analysis of The Metamorphosis. And I asked it for 2,500 words. In 1 minute and 14 seconds, it wrote a 2,500 word outline or essay on critical analysis of The Metamorphosis. And it's one of the best that I've ever read in my life. And that right there showed me the power of being able to sync up, if you will, with the entire internet when you're asking a question. This goes beyond search engines. It goes beyond any, Google or Yahoo. It goes so far beyond that, and it's now it's almost like you're talking to the internet. That's what I feel
Yes,
like.
with the conversation
I
style,
almost
yes.
feel like I'm conversing with the entire internet, billions of people who've written all of this content.
It's very helpful. So as you can see, I entered in, I just copied, can you give me 10 more questions in this area, background experience, and I just copy those two responses, and it just dumped out even more so. And this prompt that we put in here, provide 20 interview questions for new employees in the market in marketing for small business, is actually directly from our book. It's on page 96. So I have that little tab right there. So we'd remember that. But yeah, that's just one of them. As you can see, you can keep going and you can enter the same prompt multiple times, but you can also okay, yeah, I want to know more about their background experience. Hence, they came up with 10 more questions: team collaboration, budget management, specific marketing channels, project management, success stories, adapting strategies, continuous improvement. Those are all really strong questions that you might want to go deeper into this interview process.
And it's almost like a pool. You can start out swimming in the shallow end of the pool and continue swimming until you're in as deep as you possibly can get. And you can take each one of these particular examples and ask ChatGPT to expand on those. So
Good point.
there's no end to this. It's extraordinary in that, and I go back to the brainstorming or web storming I referred to earlier, is it allows you to come up with a different direction that you may not have thought on your own. I know there's times where I'm writing marketing materials or something in the past, and I'm at a loss. I'm blocked. I don't know which direction to go in. I could take what I have, dump it into ChatGPT, and it could give me 10, 20, 50 different directions to go in of things I did not think of. And the importance there is I didn't spend hours of my day on a non-income producing activity. I was able to get it over with quickly. And that, to me, from a time saving standpoint, from a business owner, this is brilliant. That $20 a month is nothing compared to the amount of time that it's saving me and allowing me to get back to income producing activities.
We should get a cut about everyone we recommend to upgrade to 4.0 because we recommend so many people. But this reminds me so much of the internet. Remember when you had to go to the library to look up research? When you had to find something, you had to go to the library to look up anything, or you had to go down to the courthouse to look at information. Now it's all available on the internet. And that's what we have here with ChatGPT. This is the next step in the evolution of technology. And again, if you're not on this end of it, on the front end of it, you're going to be taken over because it's moving so rapidly, which is why we created these training sessions.
Right.
I do want to quickly show you the second one we actually did on putting in, asking that prompt of provide 20 new interview questions for a new employee in marketing. And ChatGPT grouped it into 10 actually areas for analytical skills, digital marketing. So it's very interesting seeing how each time we did this, it came up with a different response, and all are good, all are helpful.
Yeah.
And you could actually change the tone, or you could respond back, make it more formal, make it more casual, make it more fun, make it more compelling or interesting, or make it more personal. I want to know more about them individual. Like that could all be entered in here.
Mm.
And that's what the helpfulness of this is like, oh, I want this to be a little bit more this, describe it in your mind and then type it in. It can happen.
And I can tell you one of the things I love about all these questions is you can have some of these that you're asking in the interview, and you can have others that are written where they have to respond in writing. I've trained salespeople and business owners about this. Is when you're hiring somebody or you're leading a team, you want to make sure your team can communicate verbally and in writing.
Absolutely.
It's so important because I've seen things come to me in writing. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even think English is your fourth language, right? I'm like,
Thought about that, yeah.
there's no reason to nowadays to not be able to effectively communicate with all of the word correction programs that are out there, like
Grammarly.
Microsoft Word, Grammarly. You have all of these programs. There's no reason to not be able to communicate in any language, let alone English. So I love questions like this where I can take some of them, put them into writing, and then see how this person expresses themselves in writing as well as verbally. So now I know I'm letting ChatGPT really screen out the people that I don't want to hire, that I might have hired had I not asked these questions. ChatGPT is eliminating all of those and letting the cream rise to the top and allowing me to select from the best employees available.
Absolutely. And absolutely. As a former college marketing instructor, I taught a 300 level marketing class. And I remember one of the first, and one class in particular was the morning class. And in that one class, probably 90% of the first assignment I had asked to be submitted, probably there was so many, the red squiggles under misspelled words
Yeah.
on in Word. When I would bring up 90% of the assignments that were turned in, it looked like a Christmas tree. There was so much red on the page, I couldn't even decipher what they were trying to say. And I actually turned it all back. I said, I'm giving you 24 hours to send this. You need, and that time there was no ChatGPT. I'm like, at that time, you just need to do spell check on this. This is ridiculous. And it wasn't even grammar on there. And so they had to go or you need to find somebody that's good at grammar to read your work. Don't ever turn in something to me again with all those red squiggles on the bottom. And they didn't. But I thought I was trained, and I believe I was training them for that interview, with that form, with that future employer to say, hey, I can communicate in a way that's effective and I can help you in your business.
And I do want to make a note here. We have a lot of friends in business who are from other countries, all over the world, actually.
Absolutely.
And English is not their primary language. It could be their second, third, or fourth language, but they need, for purposes of being here in the United States or having customers here, they need to be able to communicate in English. And the thing I love about ChatGPT is because it's able to translate into multiple languages. I believe 26 at the current time. It's able to translate what accurately translate, not like some of the translation programs that are out there, but it's able to accurately translate into native language. And so that person now can take their primary language, write something, and then get an English response to it,
Absolutely.
and then be able to communicate with the folks that are speaking English as their primary language. So I really love that. It's making the world smaller. And it's giving us all an opportunity to interface and work together, regardless of the language that we speak or where we're from.
Absolutely. That's a huge point. So with that in mind, we're going to end today's complimentary free introductory training. We hope you come back for more of them. We thank you so much. And of course, if you want your author and scribe copy, you can go to dynamicchatgpt.com, grab a copy there. And this is kind of fun. We wanted to show this to you. We actually found an AI simulated person, or what do they call avatar to actually introduce. So we're going to leave you with this one.
Hi, I'm Carly. I'm excited to introduce Ron and Kim Clark's new book and training program, Dynamic Chat GPT, AI Strategies for Small Business.
And that's actually an avatar created. We programmed her to say that. It was wonderful. It's made from synthesia. So that's just a sampling of what incredible opportunities you have available.
Yeah, and we're going to be training on some of these technologies in some of the programs that you have coming up, and these let me tell you what I love about that particular technology right there we've been shooting this video here today, and I can't tell you how long this has taken because we've had to do this, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 times. But it's important for the nature of what we're doing for us to shoot this live. But a lot of videos do not need to be shot live, nor do they need to be shot by the person who actually runs the company. And the great part about using these avatars and these AI companies is now the person, the background, everything is already there. All you need to do is write the content of what you want them to say, and it's done. The video is created
It's
for
actually
you.
pretty amazing.
Now it's uploaded, and they'll do, and it can be longer than what we're showing you on here. This is just a preview of it. But I really love that. And you're going to see, I can promise you this, because I already know some of the things that are coming here in 2024 and beyond, because of some of the folks that I've gotten to know. There are the speed at which it's going to change this year and what's coming will make last year look like what even happened.
Last century,
It's
yes.
going to, each year is going to be growing by decades, not just by a year. It's going to be extraordinary, the changes you're going to see in automobiles, in traffic, in medicine, and all the different areas that are now using AI. In fact, we were getting ready to do our taxes, and TurboTax said, oh, by the way, we use AI now. So everybody's using AI. It's everywhere. It's going to be a part of your life forever now. And it's not going to attack you. It's not going to eat your brains. It's not coming for your children. It's here as a tool. And if you use the tool correctly, it can do wonders for your business.
Just like the internet was in the 90s, which we
Right.
all use so proficiently now.
Right.
So again, you can grab your copy of Dynamic ChatGPT, the book. It's on hardcover, paperback, and Kindle.
Right.
And if you want an author inscribed copy of paperback and hardcover, you can go to our site, dynamicchatgpt.com, or you can go to Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, or Amazon. It's all on them, as all on those sites as well.
Yep.
Is there anything you want to add before we end?
No, I'm really excited about the technology. I've been in business now since the late 80s, and I've never been this excited about a technology before. And I've been through the cellular revolution in my first business. I've been through the internet revolution. I've been through all of those, and I know how fast those moved. It doesn't even compare to what we're about to see. And so I'm
And also
excited.
energy. We went through energy, telecom.
The energy industry we retired from, and I got to tell you, I've never seen anything move at this speed before, and I'm excited about what
It
it's going to
is.
be
It's
able to
very
do.
exciting.
I mean, I've never seen it. I've never seen something that's going to be able to be used as a tool and a strategy for small businesses that really helps elevate where you're doing business, how you're doing business, and allows you to compete against people who are much larger and have much greater resources, just simply by using the same technology that's available to everyone.
Absolutely. Well put. Well said. Again, if you haven't yet, grab your copy of Dynamic ChatGPT. Come back here for more training. They're going to be pretty in-depth, and I think you're really going to see and benefit from just the incredible use for using AI, especially ChatGPT in business. Keep innovating and
Embrace the future.
embrace the future. Take care, you all.